Friday Night Fly, Scotty Holmes is in the building. What are you tying tonight?
Foam hopper.
Foam hopper.
A foam hopper. One with the colors from our area. They're kind of distinctive to the hoppers around here. There's a million hoppers in the world. There's a million colors of hoppers in the world. I was amazed when I was looking at hoppers. I was trying to find a picture of this particular hopper, and there are so many hoppers. It's insane.
Well, to the colorblind ones, they're going to find a color in this pattern that they can see. I'll guarantee it.
Yes, they
because we've gone to a quad core foam body, have we not?
Yeah, a quad
core
foam body. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. We're techs.
Okay.
What can I say? Anyhow,
so we're gonna get down to the fly. There's lots of little steps, and we're gonna show you a little bit of how we make the foam. How we make the foam body. We're down already.
We're down there.
Okay.
Check it
so
out.
There you go. There's our foam hopper.
That's killer. Literally.
Okay.
Those fish have got no hope.
Okay, so basically the whole way you get this foam like that is you take this is foam that you get at Walmart, just standard foam with the glue on the back. And all I do is I've decided like my colors that I like to use for this foam hopper are this. This one here has a little bit of brown in it, but I'm changing the brown to yellow.
High vis, baby.
Yeah. So it gives a little bit more more view. Sure. So all you do is you just take the foam
and you stack them.
And you stack them. Really simple. And
when you're all done, you got quad colors.
Yeah. One thing I do like to do with it, if I have all of my foam is got glue on the back, I like to take the stuff that's going to sit in the water and put double glue on it, where the other ones are glue on top of foam. Does that make any sense? Yeah.
No, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that way you got the double glue on the bottom. And so from there, you just take your scissors and you just go like this and you even it up. This is a little bit of a waste. I just wanted to do this to show everybody so they could see how we ended up with a little foam piece. And this is only 3 pieces. So after we've done that, now we end up with this.
The rainbow.
The rainbow. And I mean, this is the nice thing about these colored foams. I mean, as I said, there's a million hoppers. So for your area, this might not be the color code or the color sequence that you need, right?
Yep.
So,
but I mean, you're not missing too many colors in that color scheme.
No. So, and then from there, the other thing I've been working on is trying to take this and develop it into the least amount of cuts possible, because some of my earlier bugs I did a little bit differently, and I mean I enjoy making these because there is the carving. It's 3D. It's not just feathers and fur, right?
Man, they look cool. They look really cool.
And
I can't wait to see this thing fly and catch fish this summer.
How do they cast?
No, they cast awesome.
Well, they're light, right? They don't weigh anything.
No.
Okay, so there we go. I mean, I've already pre-cut when I do my piece here. I pre-cut my face. So there's the profile of the face right there, and I've already pre-cut that. So.
And then what do? You take a knife or something and you cut a little slit in the center of it so it sits on the hook? Are you doing anything like that, or?
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. You take your knife and then you make a little cut down the center.
Yeah.
Go down like that. So
yeah, I mean, right in there.
Yeah, and one of the things you should do first is, for me, is I put in this slot first.
That's a pretty important step. That way she stays on the hook when you're sucking it all down.
Well, it also gives you, as you're cutting, it gives you some sort of reference as to how you want it to be.
Where's your middle?
Yeah, where's my middle? Exactly. So, and then I start hacking. And this doesn't always work exactly the way you have it planned.
You know, the nice thing about it is there's no 2 hoppers that look the same.
Yeah.
And that is the truth of it. It's like me, there's not too many guys that are as good looking as I am. That's one thing.
I just speed that one up, so we're gonna do another one real quick here. As good looking as you are, is that what you just said?
Yeah, well, there's a reason I'm not behind the camera. Put it that. Painful for these viewers. Yeah, I've got Tuesday off. I'm not sure what we're doing though. We could do something for sure.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to.
Okay.
I'll know Monday.
Sure.
So I screwed that first one up, and it's pretty easy to do. I mean, the nice thing about this foam is it's cheap. Adjust my face a little bit. And then again, I'm going to try and cut these. The reason I said I screwed it up is I cut through the slot. I need to get a razor blade. I've seen
The razor blade makes it a little easier.
yeah, like but the old school razor blades, not this. That doesn't work. It'll cut through it, but it won't cut through all the layers evenly. It just ends up tearing as you go through.
I could see that hurt.
And that was brand new when I first started too, so it wasn't like there was a
Be careful.
Yeah.
yes.
Be
Okay.
careful.
So as I said, there's multiple levels of trimming that you can go through. Gotta get that tail.
And as people have seen our first couple shows today, the cutthroat are starting to show up in the rivers. It's a pretty exciting time of year for us, and there's more information on that on our guiding company, permanentfishfinder.com. Check it out. Lots of fishing reports. You'll see Scotty Boulder there. He's got a couple new videos up of him laying a smack down on the river. All fish are released unharmed. In case I made it sound like a WWE.
There we go. We're sort of getting there.
Perfect.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, you can go crazy. You can trim it. You can take it and do all sorts of crazy things. Like on a few of them, I went and I would just put little.
Cool, man. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Sure.
Okay, boys. I gotta run.
Later, Steve.
Good luck. So what are you doing here? That's just giving a little bit more shape, definition in the water.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you ever see the bottom of a grasshopper. They have that. It's like a plate, right?
Yeah.
It goes across the bottom of the thing. So all I'm doing is just texturing it a little bit, and that's why I say I'm going to keep this pretty simple, but it's unlimited. I mean, you could get epoxy paints, and you could do crazy things with these to make them super realistic, or show bugs or whatever, you know. So
let's get to her, buddy.
let's get to her. Yeah. Where is my hook? You see it? Okay.
So we're starting off with a size 4 nymph hook. We went to the nymph hook because
No, I said size 6.
size 6. Sorry, I was just making sure you were paying attention.
And yes, I am. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're just going to get a thread wrap on. And the reason I'm using a nymph hook is I want something a bit bigger for the foam body to go on. The foam body's got lots of flotation.
You want something pretty rigid, though, eh?
Yeah.
You want it to stand up to the beating it's going to foresee.
Well, and again, it's going to, you know, hopefully you're going to be catching bigger fish with it. So you want something that's not going to bend. I tried one on a what was it? A dry fly, like a 200 Tiempo 200R. So it's a curved. It had a nice shape for it, but.
And I don't know if have you ever fished grasshopper patterns like terrestrials? Man, trout will hit them on the down, like
as they come down.
Yeah, they'll jump out of the water like 3-4 feet away and hit it on the downstroke. It's unreal.
Okay, so and then I'm just going to cut off a pair of this, or a bit of this fur, and all this really does is just helping me build up the body so that there's a little bit more than just the hook shank to attach to. And then I'll wrap it all the way back down.
Yeah, they go up here. Oh, it was crazy.
And you want to go just shy of the barb. And I'll trim off the excess. I'm not going to totally get rid of it. In my variations of patterns of these that I've been trying, I've left some in, I've taken some off. I don't have any. I think I do have some, but I trimmed it all off on this one here. So now we are going to attach our body. Just do a little test fit, make sure she fits on there. And then we're going to grab our head cement.
Question and answers now open. If you guys have any questions, hit us up. I'm sure you're going to have a few. because this is not an easy fly to tie.
And put a little bit of head cement on there. Don't look for it like super glue that it's going to glue it down right away. And I don't want it to glue down right away. I just want to sort of for it to hold in a couple hours once it sets. If it was to stay down there right away, then it would be hard for me to form the fly.
I love these realistic bugs, man. They're awesome.
Bless you, bless you, bless you. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I caught one earlier.
Since we're on the foam body grasshoppers, I wanted to challenge you, but middle of the night I tied up one myself as your realistic fly.
That's really
So
good.
hopefully you can see that. It's got the case back, shell wing, everything, legs, bomber.
That's really nice, Brad. Good job.
Not bad, eh?
Really good.
Super simple pattern too. We'll get Scotty to demonstrate that one maybe next week.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is not, well, you know what? You still got to put legs on them. I think that's one of the more complicated things to do. Yeah, and carving the foam, I enjoy it. I enjoy carving that little 100%. Body out of there. Yeah. So don't do that
twice.
It doesn't really matter. You're building up a lot of thread anyway.
Yeah, it's bit into the foam. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I was just about to say that make sure you don't worry about the thread wraps. They're going to show. Doesn't matter. Forms your segments, your body. If you want, you can go after it. Go over afterwards with black Sharpie and just detail a little bit. You put a little bit of contour in there. Okay, so we do one wrap, and then we're just going to bring it forward just a little bit, not much. And we're going to put in our second.
See, that's the trick, is to, like Scotty did there, you lift the body, the foam body, roll it underneath.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what, some of the grasshopper patterns, you know how you did the cutting underneath the foam?
Yeah.
They do that by segmenting the body and figure eighting it. So you go up one way, cross over, and wrap it back the other way, and it gives it like a figure eight pattern.
Okay, so I'm gonna tie one leg of each, and I have some ready. I'm doing them with red because I use the red as well, but I'm not using red with this pattern. And all I do is just get it together like that, and then once you've got it like that, you can just sort of wiggle your knot as long as you want it, as long as you don't want it. The thing is, it doesn't really matter. The only thing, because you get a chance to change it when you put it on, you can cut it here and move it up and down to adjust your length, right? Okay, so ooh, earthquake, earthquake.
Camera. We're still in focus, but she's shaking.
Okay, we're gonna put on our back legs. No, it was one more. One more segment.
One more. That's a pretty cool pattern, man. I like that pattern.
To me, the pattern came alive as soon as I started getting the right colors where I wanted them. Then it was I really.
We could call that. We should have called it the Jamaican popper.
Like the Jamaican flag.
So when you get your legs,
Popper man.
The popper man.
I want them just the ball here to be just short of the back of the fly, and I'm going to trim it probably a little bit, so right around there. The other thing you want to do,
your foam's rolling on you too, just so you know. Or you've got the vices on its side. That's what it
is you want to try to have the longer piece down on the bottom like that, and then that way when you trim that other piece, your legs are going to drop down instead of dropping to the side. Although when I fish these, it doesn't matter, as long as the legs are there, then they splay out, and that's the critical thing, right? The legs don't get tangled in the hook and that they splay out behind you.
You've been working this pattern for a while, I know, because last week you didn't want to tie it. You're just like, man, I need a couple more days of tying this pattern to work the bugs out of it, eh, Scotty?
Yeah, well, like I said, it takes time, right?
I always like to challenge you guys, though. That's the big one. I mean, if anybody that's been involved in Friday Night Flies, we've been doing this for a couple of years now. And, I mean, you can really see the progression from when you guys first started tying to now. I mean, you guys are pros, man. Pros.
Sure.
I love last week's episode, not last week, the week before when we did the box
Do not
challenge.
trim these too short.
They'll pull through.
Like, don't pull on them really hard and then trim them really short. That's a big mistake. Generally, they will just break or pull out somewhere down the line. And then from there, like I said, you want to decide which one of your legs you want to keep long and which one you want to keep short. I don't trim it too close to the knot as well. I want to leave a little bit hanging on to, and then I want my legs to be, I don't know, maybe about a centimeter past.
So half an inch.
Yeah.
For all our American viewers, centimeter. What the hell is a centimeter?
Something like that. And I don't really think it hopefully matters. I mean, you can have a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. I wouldn't say too much longer, too much shorter, but. And then from there, then we go to our last.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missing a step.
What are you missing, Scotty?
I need a piece of yellow foam from my, the lime green foam. Yeah. So
now what are we doing?
this is my wing, and as I was saying to Brad, you know, I'm going to tie one of these with a goose biot from my wing, and see what that looks like. And for my indicator, I mean, in essence, that's what you're using it for, is your indicator. I don't think it would be very durable though, not compared to foam. So just trimming up another piece of foam.
You know what? Having that nymph hook, like the 3XL, is it a 3X? 3XL?
This hook?
Yeah.
No, this is, I think this is
2X?
2, maybe, yeah.
That's going to probably help it stand up too, eh? Having that.
Yes.
Because a big foam body, sometimes they like to lay on their side. That's one issue.
Well, I did a lot of testing, you know, when I was as I was making these, I was like, I want to make sure that I tied one with a really big indicator of this on the top.
Yeah. And
that dragged it over every single time. Like as soon as it got wet, the indicator got wet, the fly would go like that.
Flop.
Right? It would flop over. So
That's
I got rid of that, but I still, a little bit of on the bottom like this, if I leave that like that, that helps to weight it on the bottom and then keep it sucks it down a little bit, right? Okay, so what the part that I forgot to do is put on my wing here, and this is something that on the other fly I fully UV finished this one so that it was completely covered, right?
It looks cool, man. Like that.
But it doesn't cool. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean that's the thing, right? Okay. And then,
You know, if you look at big hoppers, they look like they're bulletproof on their back, really. They do. Segment on the
You missed your segment. Go back up another wrap.
oh,
There you go. Yeah.
and that head cement will secure it up. It's gonna move. It's gonna move somewhat no matter what you do, but this will definitely slow it down. Okay, so basically that's pretty much getting towards the end. All we got to do is tie on our front leg. So we're gonna do a front leg, and the front leg is pretty simple. All you do is take this, wrap it once.
You know what? I really wish I'd known that you were going to go with the Jamaican colors. We would have had fun with the name of this hopper.
And if you want, you got lots of patience, do it multiple times and make up a big ball. I've done that on a few of them. Definitely, it looks better.
It adds.
It does add, yeah. Like here, I'll try and do it.
But
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't just line up as easy as you think they would. See, like that one. So there's a double ball. You can sort of see it. It's a little bit bigger, yeah.
Ouch, that hurt. Oh, you got the Toyota on the road, eh? Nice.
And you want this to be just short of the first segment of your back leg. Fine.
I don't know why you were so nervous about tying this pattern, man. You got it down. That's a beautiful fly, man. It's already coming together really nicely. I mean, it's endless what you can do to doctor that thing up, too.
Yeah.
And you were talking about Sharpies. Did you bring one along today?
I brought a lot of Sharpies along today. And it was one that every time I dig out the Sharpie, though, I go crazy. Like, it's like, well, I'll just put a little bit more here, a little bit more there. And eventually you end up with something that doesn't really look like even what you started off tying. Okay, so secure that on there really, really well. I'm going to trim back this one leg because it keeps getting in my way, or this one. I won't try to make it perfect yet.
Funny with the new categories on the... Yeah, for you guys that haven't seen the new website, check it out. Whole new layout, new categories, new patterns.
What happened here? What happened there? Oh, I see.
There you go. Need to cut that guy shorter. That's a pretty cool.
I was really confused there. I was like, what happened? It was fine a second ago. Okay, so now we've got that done. Then we're going to go to the front of the hook.
Oh.
And we're going to build up some thread. And then we're going to whip finish it. And as I said, there's just having things in your way. And I'm not worried about it. I go over this with some UV cement to make sure that everything stays in. Okay, so I'm going to trim up this back leg on this side, so we want it to be right about there. And this one on this side to be right about there. Okay. There you go. So from there, you can either leave that on there if you really want a big indicator. You want to leave that big flap in so that you can see it going down. Then you can trim it down. You can do whatever you want. I like cutting it off.
Yeah.
Like so. And then from there, it's a matter of adding some UV cement. So how much ever you want to add. Put my eye on.
Yeah.
My daughter stole my little Sharpie. I'm having to use this big.
Big eye.
But that's good because they do have big eyes. So there you go. Boom. Pretty much done. Now, if you wanted to go to town, like, I mean, again, you can add the UV cement just to give it. The reason I did it, the reason I started to do it was because grasshoppers have a shell kind of back. It's not foamy. It's more like a
throw it
more of a
on there,
shell.
man.
Yeah,
Let's see
okay,
what it
let's
looks
throw,
like.
throw it on there.
Okay. I mean, at this point, if people don't want to watch you put the UV on there, they can head out of there. But it definitely adds.
And as I said, I'm not going to draw a whole bunch on this one. We'll just add the UV cement, keep it pretty simple. You do want to keep the UV cement completely away from the bottom side of the fly. Like, I sort of just keep it to the top half around the eye. And I also add a little bit.
Crook of the legs.
Yeah, just to make sure that
It's anchored.
all of this stuff stays where it's supposed to. And then just a little bit around the hook. Now from there,
God, man, that just completely changed that fly. Doesn't it?
Mhm.
Amazing.
It really creates the head.
It does, in a major way.
so something like that.
That's going to be Jamaican them trout crazy. Come on, Scotty, you got to come up with one net. Hey, a real knee slapper.
I'm just glad that the fly basically looks like the other one. That was my main concern, just to have being
Consistent.
identical. Well, yeah, because I haven't been trying to be consistent. I've been trying to be original, right?
That's right. Friday
So-
Night Flies twist right there.
But I mean, it's also nice to see. Now, if we can't duplicate basically the other fly, then maybe it's too hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there you go. So, and then from there, basically here, get rid of any of that cement that might have gotten in the way. And then from there, I'm not trimming any of them up because I think they all look pretty cool. The other nice thing about them is
UV?
they're UV.
No kidding. Wow.
And this is going to give your mouth. I mean, that's the thing on a grasshopper. Their mouth is always going, right? So that's going to give some movement right around his face. That's kind of what I was thinking, right?
Yeah, 100% it will.
What's that bottom look like? Spin her around.
Flip her all the way around. Let's see the belly.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Clean.
Nice, man.
Looks good. Okay, let's go up top. We'll sign out.
Okay.
Not yet. We're almost there. There we are.
Okay. Friday Night Flies with Scotty Holmes. I knew that took a little bit of time. It's almost like a steelhead fly. It's that sort of kind of fiddly kind of stuff. But you know what? They're a lot of fun to tie. Terrestrials of all sorts. Bugs. We're gonna tie some beetles down the road here. Ants. I mean, ants.
We've got a few black ant patterns
Yeah,
on that
we
that are
do.
killer already.
Yeah.
But we're lacking in the terrestrial, and that's why
We are.
need to get a few more terrestrials.
So we're gonna tie a few more. There's my first hopper. I'm gonna still improve it. Maybe I'll just bring them in and we can show you some of them as we go along too,
Yeah.
right? Our improvements are maybe if it's really good, we'll retie the fly completely just to get all the details back in there for you. But Scotty Holmes, Big Bad Brad, and Boulder. Boulder, are you tying another fly? Or are you done?
I'm done.
We're all done. Scotty's sick. We're all done for the night. That was a long tie. But until next tie, Scotty Holmes.